Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a press-on business Q&A. I asked you guys all on my different social media platforms to ask me questions you guys might have, and you guys really went in. I have a lot. I'm going to be making this set you see on the screen. I'm not really going to explain anything, but if you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section and I'll get to you. And everything I use will be linked in the description of the video. First question is, what's the best tip for starting a press-on business? My biggest tip would be to document everything, document everything even before you launch. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of small business and small entrepreneurs make. They think that they can just pop out and their business is gonna take off, it's gonna do well. All their family and friends are gonna support them, and that's just not what happens. I've been selling press-ons since 2020, and I can count on one hand how many people in real life I know that have bought my nails. I don't take it personal. I just have learned that strangers are gonna support you. So to bond with those strangers and to just build a relationship and make them feel like they're coming on the journey with you, you should be documenting everything. For me, that was back in 2019 when I first started planning my business. I would show buying gel polishes, buying the boxes, showing the designs. I practiced for months before I started selling. I started practicing designs October of 2019, and I would show the fails, I would show the good ones, I would ask what they want to see. And this was months before I started selling. So by that time came around, I had people ready. And I just so happened to launch my business 1 week before lockdown happened. I launched March 6th. And I think the lockdown where nail salons were closed in 2020 happened March 14th or 15th. So people knew, they had been watching me and watching my journey, and they knew that I sold press-ons, so they were ready to order. The second question is, I have trouble finding full cover nail tips that aren't for Gel X. The ones I find have huge gaps. Not all Gel X nail tips have gaps. I use natural. So Gel X has two types of nails. They have their sculpted tips and they have natural tips. And I've been using the natural ones for years now, and there's really not a big gap. I never have any issues. My customers don't have any issues, so you can maybe look into those ones. And tips that I did use before I started investing into the Gel X ones were Macart. Macart has really good ones, and they don't really have a gap or anything. Next question is, do you shape clients' nails if they are between sizes? So no, I don't. One, because I can't see their hands or their cuticles or their nail plates or anything. So I don't really know. I can't customize them if I can't see them. And it also messes up the nail. I feel like these pre-shaped nails are perfect. And once you start to over file them or over customize the shape and everything, it starts to take away from the nail and starts to make it look crazy. I do include files, if I have them, with my orders, and they're able to do that on their own if they need to. Next question is how to price and promote yourself. Promoting yourself is just being on social media, keeping up with the trending nail designs, trending nail sounds, trying different things, being engaging with your customers or your followers who can potentially be customers. I'll have a whole video on that. I don't want to go too deep here because I have a limited amount of time, but I will have a video on how to promote and grow on social media. As for pricing is just hard to tell people because you have to be honest with your work. If you don't feel your work is worthy of $50, your nail art isn't really there yet, the quality is not really there, you know if it's there or not. Let's be real, if your nails are nice or if they're a little crazy, then price them a little lower. Don't feel that you are underselling yourself. You have to be able to grow. You can't just, if your nails are wild, your French tips are not nice, and there's a lint all in your picture or all in your pictures, all in your gel. And you know, I don't know how to explain it without like sounding like a B word, but like just be honest with your work. If your work is really nice, you invest into your supplies and you take your time with your nail art. There's a lot of Swarovski crystal and hand-drawn art. Then price what you think is fair, what you think is right. Keep in mind they are press-ons, and some people do not know how to put on press-ons. It's not like you're applying the nails yourself, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind. And yeah, I can probably do a video on pricing. I don't want to again go too far on here, but I would say just be honest with yourself. What do you feel is a fair price? And remember, you can always raise your prices over time. I started at $25 to $30, and now I sell up to $70. So, and again, over time, as I invested into quality products and my nail art got better, I upped my prices. Next question is, when sending out sizing kits, do you recommend them buying one for each size? I'm assuming you meant like shape, length. And no, they buy whatever they want. For the most part, they're the same size in all shapes and lengths. Like if they're medium and long square, they're gonna be medium in medium square or short square. The only one that might be a little tricky and might be a little different is long stiletto, and that's because it's a thinner shape, so they might be a little bigger or smaller. But for the most part, no, I do not make them or have them order every shape and length. Next question is, how do you figure out your nail size, like in measurements, millimeters, inches, centimeters, etc.? So when you get the tips, the brand that you're buying from, they should have the measurements on there. Like in the pictures, they should show a picture of each nail tip, and on the bottom it should say how many millimeters or centimeters each one is. I personally do not measure my nails. I don't have anyone measure. I don't even go by measurements. I do sizing kits so they can actually try the nails on, because not everyone is going to measure their nail correctly, and I don't do refunds. So if they mess up the sizing and it's off, I can't refund them. So that's how you can figure out the measurements, but I do not go by them at all. Next question is, how do you know if you should be using sculpted or natural nails from the brand Apres? Sculpted, I do not use for press-ons. That apex is just way too high. No glue is going to fill it, and if it does, it's definitely going to leave some holes, or not holes, but like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's going to cause a greenie. If you know, you know. So I don't use sculpted at all. They're too high in my opinion. Okay, some other press-on artists might use sculpted. I do not. Use natural. It's the perfect amount of space for glue, and the size and shape and everything is still really nice. Next question is, what to do if they don't fit the client? Do you redo them? No, I do not redo them. That is why I push for sizing kits, because it will tell you your size. The customer will be trying on the same nail tips I'm making, so they will know their exact size. If in this case 1 or 2 nails don't fit, I'll see if they want to order replacement nails for them. But yeah, you guys can. I'm not telling you like don't remake it for them. Do it if you want to, or you know, if you really want to make that customer happy. But I haven't really been in that situation yet, because I push for sizing kits. So yeah, do what you do. If you want to remake them for them, do it. If you don't, make sure they know there's no refunds and you can't remake it due to it being a handmade product. Next question is, how do you sharpen your tips so they aren't dull at the free edge? I sharpen all my nail sets with the 80x80 grit hand file. Next question is, how can you sell nails without a website and only take Zelle payments? Not gonna lie, this sounds scammy. I don't know why you wouldn't want a website. I know they're a little pricey at first, so if you're just starting and you don't want a website, you can just take orders through DMs. I do that with custom sets at the moment, or emails, of course. I would do an email at least, so it's like somewhat professional. But yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't want a website. Trust me, talking to customers all the time through DMs, it's gonna get a little draining after a while. So take orders through DMs, but eventually you definitely want a website. Next question is, how do you prep the full cover tips prior to painting the nails? I don't, for the most part. Sometimes I will if it's just like a one color set, and I do that by taking a lint-free pad with some acetone and chemically buffing it. It's like the same process as buffing a nail, but not as much work. I show that in most of my tutorials on here if you want to see how. What stands do you recommend for the press-ons? Mine keep falling off the stand. I'll leave linked in the description of this video the stands I use. I guess you saw them in this video. What I will say is, I know a lot of people use the blue putty to like stick the nail to the stands. I use the tacky nail, what are they called? Nail tabs. Like the nail tabs you can use to put the press on nails on your hands if you just want them on temporary, you don't want to glue them on, those little sticky pads. I use those on the nail stands. It is a game changer. It is so clean. The nails are stuck. They do not move no matter how hard you're filing. And when you take them off, the tab doesn't leave any sticky residue or anything, and it stays on the nail stand. So there's a little trick for you. It is so much easier. Next question is, how do I build my following and gain customers? I've started making press-ons, but I've only gotten one order. I tried TikTok and Reels, but still nothing. So what I would say is, one, make sure your pictures are bomb. Try wearing nails. You don't have to obviously wear the nails you're selling. What I would do back in the day, or I still kind of do sometimes, is I would make a set just for one hand. So 5 nail tips, just one of my hands. Make the design for myself and wear it and take pictures wearing them. Some people are more visual. They want to see what those nails would look like on. So you can try that. Make sure your pictures are nice and clean. Make sure there's no fuzz in the little tape that tapes down the nails. One thing about me, I have a very big eye for details, and I see those things. I remember, I think I've talked about it on here. I've unfollowed another press-on artist because when she would show off her nails, I would see her hand marks, her fingerprints on her nails, and it grossed me out. I don't know why. Obviously, it was probably like cuticle oil, but it grossed me out, and they just look dirty. That's another thing to just keep in mind. There might be customers out there that have an eye for detail like I do, and your set might not be appealing to them because they see something that's like, no. When it comes to Reels and TikToks, I would say make content that is relatable. People can tell when you're hurting for sales, and it kind of comes off desperate for sales when, I don't know how to explain it, and it kind of sucks because it's like, that's what we're doing. We're promoting our business and we're trying to get sales, but there's a point where it's a little too like much, where it's like, okay, why is no one ordering their nails? Why do I want to order them if it kind of feels like nobody wants to? You know what I mean? It kind of sucks, but that's just the world of business, I guess. So I would do more relatable things like day in the life vlogs. My day in the life of a press-on artist, or shopping for nail supplies, or do some nail hauls, or do some tutorials, or like do stuff like that and see how that works. I will tell you right now, pictures on TikTok have been blowing my page up. On TikTok, I had 40 followers last month, and right now I'm almost at 10K, which is crazy. And it's also helped build my Instagram page where I'm about to hit 20K. Oh my gosh. I was just at 16 last month. So, and we're only 5 days into November, or 6 or 7. Who cares? Anyways. But yeah, try different things and just don't come off so salesy. Don't come off like, oh, 50% off this all the time, 10% off this, buy one, get one all the time. Customers are not dumb. They can tell, they're always running sales. That means no one is buying their nails. Why is no one buying their nails? That's just, it's life. People want to go wherever, when something is popular and trendy, everyone wants it, right? And you just got to come off, even if it's not, you got to fake it till you make it. If your nails aren't popping and trendy yet, act like they are. Act like you are just popping over there. I don't know. That's like the best advice I can give. And I have slow times. Don't let this video or anything come off to where it seems like, oh, I always have sales, I'm always making money. No, that's not the case. I do not. But I will never come off, I don't want to ever come off like I'm hurting for sales. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's when people are like, why is no one buying from her? So yeah, hopefully that helps. I'm gonna do a video on social media because I feel like I'm starting to figure that shit out. Next question is, as a beginner and barely starting, do you recommend doing 10-piece sets or 20 to 24-piece sets? As a beginner, I would recommend 10-piece sets, but promoting them, like I explained earlier, don't make like sets in advance. I would make just enough for one of your hands. You're not going to sell this. This is yours to keep, but do that and take pictures and do videos promoting your nails. And then try to get sales from there. That way you'll have a better idea of, do you have mostly medium-sized customers, custom-sized customers, so on and so on. I think some people make the mistake of, oh, I'm going to make 20-piece sets and 24-piece sets so they have a better chance of selling because any size can buy them. But that's not the case. One, you're wasting so much more product if no one buys it. 20 nail tips plus all that gel and charms. So yeah, I would say just make designs for your hand, promote them that way so you're not wasting any product. I'm telling you, these nails that you make for yourself, they come in handy for pictures and wearing them down the line to re-promote those nails. I would try that way, see what sizes come in, and if push comes to shove, you don't get any sales at all, then try 20 to 24-piece sets. Next question is, how do you deal with different types of nail plates with your customers? Flat nails, curved nails. That is another reason why I push for sizing kits. Sizing kits aren't only just to see their sizes, but they can try on the nails and see if they fit correctly on their nail plates. Say that their nail plates are super flat, but the nails that I use might be a little too curved for them. They know now. Or if they just don't fit right. Some people have really big thumbs. My nail tips only go to a 0. I don't get any 0 zeros. So now they'll see how those are gonna fit. So that's how I would deal with them. I'm telling you, if you don't learn anything from this video, learn that you should start selling sizing kits. The most common thing I see when people talk about not wanting to get sizing kits is they say, oh, it takes too long. It's too much back and forth. Do you know what else is too long? A chargeback. A chargeback is too damn long, especially if you have Shopify. They take $15 on top of that chargeback amount, and you don't get your money back for like 60 days. So just offer the sizing kits. Sell them. I would recommend sell them. I know some don't like to sell them. They'll ship the sizing kit out to a customer for free. I sell them because, one, that's a way to make a profit. When you have a small business, you want to find multiple ways to make profit outside of your main source of income, which mine would be press-ons. It's a profit. Two, that's product, okay? Apres nails are not cheap. They are not cheap at all. And if I'm giving 10 of them away, I'm getting some money back for that. Also, just because they buy a sizing kit does not mean they're going to place an order. I've had people order sizing kits and they never ended up placing an order. So I'm not going to lose 10 of my precious expensive tips for no reason. Charge for the sizing kits. You don't have to charge 10 like I do, but charge something. Make some profit. I hope this helps. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do another Q&A, let me know. This was kind of fun. Drop some questions below if you have any questions about the nail set you guys got to watch me make, or if you have any questions I can do for a part 2 Q&A. Who knows? Make sure to follow me on Instagram, nailzbydom, and I will talk to you guys next time.